Bladesmiths, welcome to the great outdoors. We brought you out here to the frozen tundra to make your lives miserable. Gentlemen, you have only hand-cranked coal forges to use today. There will be no power hammers. There will be no presses, just good old-fashioned hand hammering.
We're gonna be forging outside. And for me, I'm hoping that gives me an edge. My home forge is outside. I'm used to the cold. I'm hoping my competitors are not.
Now, there will be no signature blades in your signature style today. Instead, you'll be making kukris. And your kukris have to fall within the following parameters. The length of your kukri must be between 11 and 13 inches. It must have a through tang, an 1.5 inch waist, and a 2.5 inch belly. And you're making them out of this. Snowmobile. Gentlemen, this snowmobile is comprised of a lot of different materials. Your challenge is to figure out what the high carbon steel is, salvage that high carbon steel to make your kukri. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 3 hour starts now.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it looks like our snowmobile went belly up.
I need to get a large piece of metal. That's a big knife. We've got the coil springs, which I know are a great steel, but they're about 1/2 inch thick, so that's not enough steel to work with. I decided to go with the skis.
The temperature out here it's pretty cold, but I'm from Montana originally, so, you know, I can suck it up.
I cannot get this coal forge going to save my life. Grab my piece of steel and take it to the ambulance and then start focusing on the forge. I have some experience with coal forges.
Josh has a pretty clean-looking fire.
I'd love to see him build that up a little bit more. You kind of want to have that stack, that cave where you've got a super hot core in there.
Overall, I'm actually feeling really good. I'm able to hit it for an appropriate amount of time without getting tired, put it back in the fire, and by the time I'm ready to swing again, it's hot.
My strength is forging, so I'm just trying to keep my heats pretty quick, so I can just forge a few times and then back in the fire, pull it out, hit it a few times, back in the fire.
One of my concerns watching Casey, a lot of times he's hammering and it looks gray from here.
A lot of these smiths have been going through today is they pull it out of that forge and it's glowing a knife orange, but it loses that color so rapidly.
Shaping the blade, the belly is going okay. The curvature that the kukri has is not going so well. It's not taking the shape that I want it to take. Hopefully it works out.
Bladesmiths, 90 minutes has elapsed. That is half the time in round 1.
I'm halfway through. I've got a good knife shape, and it's time for me to start working on the tang.
Ben is not slowing down over there, man. If anything, he's hitting harder and faster than he was when he first started out.
That's some stamina. I mean, he's hammered a beautiful shape into that.
I'm putting my stuff back in the fire. I'm trying to get that tang heated up. It's a lot of material to move as quickly as I can. I need to get that into a better shape. I look away from the forge a little bit too long. And it's melted.
Ben had lost a bit of his billet from overheating.
At those elevated temperatures, the grain is growing so fast and it becomes brittle even under the heat.
And I really look at the thickness of what I have, and I realize I can draw this out. I have enough material to actually make a more appropriately sized tang with what I've got.
Things are moving a lot better now. I'm definitely catching up to the rest of the guys.
That is an awesome swing that Casey has up there.
Yep, that's a barrier swing, man.
He's got that momentum going. Wow.
At this moment, I'm out of it. I'm lost in the sauce. I can't get what's in my head of what a kukri is supposed to look like and apply it to the piece I'm working on. There's no way I'm gonna be able to just, move so much material out of the tang, so I'm gonna have to trim some fat out of it. I have to dig deep, really deep.
And here we go. Adam's back on his crank. He's getting that coal forge going again. That's exactly what he needs to do. So we've got Casey in the Quenching.
It's still pretty straight. Didn't hear any pops or pings.
Man, looks like Ben just quenched over there.
There's no warps. Everything looks as straight as when I put it in. I'm happy with the way it looks. I think if I go into round 2, I'll definitely have a good starting point.
Yeah, I think she's good.
It looks straight. It looks good.
2 minutes, bladesmiths. 2 minutes remaining.
My blade is not looking like a kukri, but I still want to turn it in. I take my blade out of the oil and realize my blade is 1/8 of an inch short.
1 minute, bladesmiths.
I don't have time to reheat it or forge it out, so I do the next best thing.
Adam's hooking up the welder.
To get it long enough, I just take a piece of rebar, weld it on, hack it off, and that's my tip.
Adam added a 1/2 inch to the tip of his knife.
Make the parameters.
Figure I can make it pretty later.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This first round of forging is over.
Good job, dude.
Bladesmiths, time has expired in our first round of competition. This has been a tough day. Each of you was to have made a kukri between 11 and 13 inches in length with a through tang. Only 3 of you can move forward in this competition. 1 of you has to leave the forge. Ben, you're safe. You're moving on to the next round of competition. Good job. Josh, you're up first. The judges want to take a closer look at your work. Please present your blade to the judges.
All right, Josh, first up, the defining characteristics are not here. This is not a kukri. This is a kukri. The back, the spine you have, it comes to a point so you can thrust with it. The belly and the waist is there. You can make this a kukri by following this shape. And luckily, you have enough steel to do that.
Casey, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
This profile is by far the closest to what we think of as a kukri. But if you move forward in the second round, you got to move this choil back to here because you need all that steel to be part of your sharpened edge.
Okay.
Adam, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
Adam, I saw a couple of times where that clock got the better of you. But then I saw you reset and continue, and I really appreciate that. But unfortunately, at the end of the day,
That's not a kukri, and there's not enough steel here to turn it into one without a forge.
Adam, unfortunately, your blade doesn't make parameters because it's just not a kukri, and for that reason, we cannot have you move forward in this competition.